Alright, this new what if. This is what if Naruto had a different team. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I do like the original Team 7. I do love them. They go perfect together, but damn, Kakashi was one of the worst senseis. He was one of the worst, best senseis I ever saw. So this is gonna be Naruto with a different team. This is gonna be like a slightly overpowered Naruto because his team you're gonna see. Alright, so this also gonna be a serious Naruto and a smart Naruto because his teammates, him and his teammates, gonna meet earlier because they're gonna be friends from young age. Seeing as it's already gonna be, the Konoha, 12, 11, whatever, from basically the original. So Naruto's teammates gonna be Hinata and Shikamaru. That's his teammates for this one. They're gonna be called Team One, and their sensei is gonna be Yamato. Pretty sure his name is Yamato. The dual wood style. Haven't watched Naruto in a while, so let's get into this one. We can see 4-year-old Naruto, playing in a playground with Shikamaru and Choji. Some of his only friends that he actually made. Shikamaru, Choji, and Naruto are just playing around. Well, mostly Naruto and Choji because Shikamaru is still lazy. They're just playing around, playing some games until they hear something. They hear somebody crying and a bunch of people talking, saying, "Look at her weird eyes," and stuff like that. She's like a freak. So they turn and they see this girl that's getting picked on. Naruto tells Choji and Shikamaru that they should go help her, and they both agree. So they all rush over there and they try to help the girl that's getting picked on by these older boys. So Naruto goes in and throws a punch, and he actually hits one of them. Now, even at a young age, Naruto still had a lot of strength and speed behind him, so it did hurt the older boys a lot. But he still had age and experience on Naruto, so he started to beat up Naruto. Shikamaru and Choji also got in there and they started to fight back too, but they also got beat up, so the boys left. But even if they got beat up, they still went and checked on Hinata. Now, this was Hinata gets no crush on Naruto, but she also, I ain't gonna say she likes Shikamaru and Choji like in a romantic way, but like she sees them as figures to look up to. And she thanks them very much for basically saving her. And they say to think nothing about it, and they introduce themselves. Naruto goes first, says Naruto is a monkey, and I'm going to be the Hokage someday. Shikamaru goes second, I'm Shikamaru Nara, doesn't even say anything else. And Choji goes next, he says, and I'm Choji Akimichi. Pretty sure it's Akimichi, sometimes I can't pronounce it right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Akimichi. If I'm saying it wrong, pronouncing it wrong, just tell me. I'm gonna basically learn. And Hinata basically introduces herself. My name is Hinata. It's Hinata. My name is Hinata Hyuga. Dang, I messed it up so many times. Now this is not. It's not snowing. It's not snowing like it was when Naruto originally saved Hinata. So they actually said, "Oh, do you want to play with us?" And Hinata said, "Sure." Now you have to understand this is a way younger Hinata. I think Hinata was 8 or so when Naruto saved her again, at 8 or 7. So she does not be put down by her father yet. Basically being basically put down. So she still has that confidence a little bit. So she doesn't stutter as much, but she still does blush and stutter a little bit. So they would play for the day, and they would also talk about stuff like if they're gonna become ninjas or not. And they all say that when they become ninjas, it's surpass basically the people before them. Even Shikamaru, he says he want to be stronger than his dad and smarter than his dad. Naruto says he wants to be the strongest Hokage, and basically says that for him to do that, they need to train. but he doesn't really know what to do. He basically explains that he really wants to be a ninja. He really wants to be Okage. He really wants the people to stop beating, basically looking down on him, saying he's just a monster. He wants to get out of that range. He wants to get into a new perspective, basically. He wants to be called something else. He's tired of being called, demon brat or brat or basically bastard, all that. He wants to be called something different. He wants to be looked up to instead of looked down upon. He want to be somebody that's basically respectable. And they all listen to Naruto and they ask what kind of life did he live already. Shikamaru and Choji already know that Naruto's an orphan. Hinata did not know that. So Naruto explained a little bit about his life. He said that he was an orphan. He used to live in an orphanage, but now he got his own house after they basically kicked him out. He don't know a lot of big words, so he can't explain like that. He don't say all my words, you know what I'm saying, because some words he don't know, some words he do know from listening, he just says them. So basically he says he got, basically kicked out of the orphanage. He has his own house given to him by the Hokage. And basically that's it. He says how, basically he tried to buy food, but it's always overpriced, or basically he can't buy nothing. The stores won't let him in. And the stuff that he try to buy always be either basically broken, rotten, or something along those lines. They all think Naruto had a rough childhood. So they vowed to basically a secret vow to themselves that they're going to make Naruto have basically the best life from now on. That they're going to make sure that Naruto never gets treated like this. So they all basically leave, they part ways, they go home. Naruto gets home relatively quickly and relatively safely since no one wants to do anything right now. They usually just throw insults unless it's his birthday and they chase him down. And Naruto goes home with a serious expression, thinking about what Naruto said. So does Shikamaru and Choji. When Choji gets home, he asks his dad about basically Naruto, what he thinks about him, and why everyone treats Naruto so differently. Same thing happens with Choji and Hinata. Now, they all relatively get around the same answers. They're basically something about Naruto's past, like something the villagers don't understand. And Shikamaru's father gave him a different thing about do you understand the Sealing Scroll and the kunai? And basically he asked that Shikamaru said he kind of does because he's still young. And basically that says the kunai cannot hurt you. I mean, the Sealing Scroll cannot hurt you, but the kunai can. But you put this kunai inside the Sealing Scroll, so the kunai cannot hurt you because it's sealed away. And Shikamaru gets that. He's pointing at something, but he don't know what it is exactly. Now, his father tells him, why don't you bring Naruto over here, tomorrow or something. Shikamaru says that's a good idea. So the next day will come around. Shikamaru actually brings Choji, Hinata, and Naruto to his house. And they play for a little bit. Then Shikamaru's dad would come after he got done with, some official business as clan head. After he get done with that business as clan head, he'd actually tell them something. He'd actually ask them something. Do they all want to become, basically, do they want to become, I'm trying to think about what they say. Do they want to become ninjas? They'd all say yes. Do they really want to become ninjas? And he said, I will train you guys. How about that? He says with a smile. And they all perk up, and Naruto, being a basically energetic person he is, says yes, 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 jumping around. Shikamaru says troublesome, but I'll do it. Joji too, and Hinata. So they actually begin basically training. Now, since he don't want to start on chakra right now, basically chakra control right now, he's actually starting them off on, no, not chakra, I mean physicality right now. He's starting them off on light exercises that they can do with their young bodies, with Naruto being able to do more, because basically, like I said, basically he's physically stronger than most kids, and also other things of the sorts. So basically, Shikaku would basically train them with basically physical things right now. And after a while of training them physically, he would start introducing them to chakra a little bit, telling them about basically what chakra is. It's chakra. What is chakra? Asking them, not asking them, basically explaining what chakra is, how it's used, and basically explaining like nature transformations, the fundamentals of chakra, and hand signs. And he shows them all the hand signs, tells them to go over it basically from now on, go over the hand signs, and then after you get them down pack, then we'll basically train on something else. So everyone goes over hand signs, and after a while of doing them, they get pretty comfortable with them. And basically this happens for over the next couple of months. They basically train with Shikaku. Shikaku basically keep pushing them physically and mentally. He would actually introduce them, tell them start reading books. He'd also basically get them little small tests and teach them things that they wouldn't be taught. Well, mostly Naruto. Now he sees that Naruto's a little bit malnourished, so he'd always have Naruto come over for basically dinner, have something cooked for breakfast, Naruto, and lunch also. And he bring this up to the Hokage that basically Naruto is not getting the best treatment inside the village, basically. And he'd argue with the Hokage because honestly, I think that Hiruzen did a horrible job. He did a. I'm just wondering why Naruto did not. Naruto had every reason to basically hate the village and go rogue or basically kill anyone in that village, but he never did. And Hiruzen is very much lucky that he didn't. Because I'm pretty sure Naruto could have been dangerous. Because he has a 9 tails in him. Plus, Naruto was a silent prodigy that didn't get awakened. That didn't get trained. Because if he did, he would have been very much dangerous. Now, he said it to Hiruzen, and Hiruzen would basically see what he can do about that. So, not knowing that he really can't do anything about the villagers' hate because can't fix that. So he would actually assign Anbu to basically protect Naruto, protect him better. He make sure it's Anbu that's not crazy, about making Naruto pay or something like that. Anbu don't hate him. There's not really that much Anbu and Anbu Force that hate Naruto, not really, because they know the difference. They know that Naruto is the 4th Hokage's. Well, Anbu's of higher rank know that Naruto is the 4th Hokage's son, along with Kushina's. But the ones lower rank know the difference between basically a Jinchuriki and demon that's inside them, so they don't attack Naruto either. They don't really care. They are sad that they lost some loved ones, but they don't really care about that mostly. Now, there's another thing I'm also going to change. Sasuke is also going to join their little training session when he turns, I want to say around 6 years old. Now, this is also going to change something too, because this is going to make a union between 2 different groups that's seeing this happening. So 2 years happened by with Naruto actually getting groceries from Anbu, basically helping him out, and him being taught proper etiquette by Shikaku's wife, whatever, Shikamaru's mom, and stuff like that. Try to cook, and he's not actually eating ramen every day because it's really the only thing he could afford, basically canon, without being overcharged. He actually grows to be normal size. He's not as short as he was in canon. Now, with these 2 years, they actually start chakra control training. I want to say leaf sticking. They do the leaf sticking. Shikaku see that Naruto can do it, but he has way too much chakra, way more than Shikamaru, Choji, and Hinata put together. And during this time, other kids come along. I'm gonna say Ino actually came along a couple of months after they started training because she was already familiar with them, with Shikamaru and Choji. She started training because I'm gonna say, didn't Ino basically meet Sakura when she was 6, or somewhere along that line, or in the academy, something like that? I think the academy started when they're 8. So she wouldn't meet Sakura yet. Neither would she really know that much about Sasuke. So she basically started training with them too, because her father told her to, basically forced her to, because Ino in canon was pretty weak, because she never trained at all. So she'd also join in with that. Who else? Ino. I'm not gonna say Key because he's stubborn and his mentality and stuff like that. I don't think he would want to join them in training. Neji, his father didn't die yet, so he'd still be pretty much approachable. Oh yeah, so the thing about Hisashi, yeah, I think it's Hisashi and Hiyashi. I forgot which one. It don't really matter. Hisashi's brother, the twin with the birthmark, I'm going to say that, the Branch family. He will still die, but after he died, Hiyashi would take him in, basically, this time, instead of leaving him for himself. He would actually take him in because that was his brother. He loved his brother. He loved his nephew. Like he loved Hinata in this one, and he's not putting her down. He'd actually take her in, and basically, he was so against it. Neji would know that his uncle was against, his father dying, because he'd heard them arguing, saying that it's his job as clan head to do this. It's his job to basically lay down his life for his clan. But his father said, no, you need to stay alive because you are the clan head and you have daughters and things like that. But, he actually argued back, but you have Neji, your son. Yeah, and, basically, I'm going to say Hiyashi and Hisashi. Hiyashi is basically Hinata's father, and Hisashi is Neji's father. But Hisashi said, I know, I love Neji, I love my son very much, but I can't let you die, brother. And Hiyashi says, no, you cannot, but before he can finish, he was knocked out unconscious. And basically says, I'm sorry, older brother, but I can't let you die. And so that night, that's how basically he was killed. He took his brother's place and all that. So Kumo still didn't get the Byakugan because he had the curse seal on his forehead. Remember that. And also basically Neji doesn't get the seal on his forehead at all because he's adopted into the main family. The main branch by Hisashi. So after all that ordeal, Neji started training with them too. He started growing faster and faster because he is a prodigy, and so is Hinata. But Neji sticks along the line of the Hyuga's main ways of doing a gentle fist. He's more basically Hyuga oriented than Hinata is, Cause Hinata branches out. She uses more her own variant of Hyuga no style, since she is a water user, her chakra nature and water style. So she flows more. She more floweth, and also combination with her flexibility, she's more of instead of brute force like Neji and most Hyugas, she flows more like water, and she strikes hard. So it's a little bit better than the Hyuga style because it's more evasive and faster than the Hyuga style, and it's more deadlier. Now let's go to the Chocolate Massacre. Now I'm really contemplating if I want to massacre the Chocolate or not. I I might do it, but with a slight few changes. Not every Uchiha gets massacred this time because Itachi. I'm gonna say Itachi. After learning that Sasuke started to have friends, and the basically what is it called? I'm trying to think about it. What is it called? The Union, or basically uh well, basically the friendly relationships between the Hyuga and the Uchiha are so strong. He's not gonna massacre every member of his Uchiha clan. Only the ones that basically want to rebel and overthrow the Hokage and stuff like that. Obito will still try to kill most of the Uchiha clan, like in canon, but he wouldn't get away with it because Itachi would find him and stop him very fastly before he can even do it. Shishu will still die, sadly. I don't really see Shishui still surviving because of Danzo. So, like I said, Miguto is going to be alive in this one. Uh, what's his name? Fugaku, he's still going to die, along with a lot of elder Uchihas, along with some adult Uchihas. Now, mostly the teenagers and the kids will still be alive, and some parents that was basically not really with it, and some of the elders also. Now, since Miguto is oldest Uchiha, and she was married to the leader of the Uchiha clan, she is now pronounced the clan leader. And after witnessing that, basically her family basically died. A lot of her friends died. She did awaken the Mangekyo, and she did switch out Fugaku's Mangekyo with hers, making her get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, hers is obviously going to be I think Fugaku's was something with I forgot Fugaku's. I don't really know Fugaku's Sharingan ability, but she's gonna have a Materasu, obviously from Itachi. No, that's how Itachi got Materasu, but she actually has flame control also. She has both Materasu and flame control from Fugaku has flame control, but she has Materasu. So she gets flame control from Fugaku. And her second ability is not gonna be Tsukiyomi. I don't know. She's gonna have some genjutsu ability. Yeah, I'm gonna give her Tsukiyomi as her genjutsu ability. So after that's happening, Sasuke isn't all emo depressed boy. He is still, but he wants to kill his brother. But his mom basically slapped that out of him real quick, along with Naruto and the other ones. So Sasuke is still like that a little bit, but he is a little bit more lighter side. He talks to people now, isn't all basically emo-ish and standoffish as he is in canon. So with everyone trained together, they actually grow way stronger than what they were in canon at this current age. Some of them even being at tuning, not tuning, I just say tuning? No, academy student levels right now. They're 6 years old. So they get more developed in chakra control. More developed in chakra control. Starting different exercises, like basically, I want to say they start the tree walking. They start that with the tree walking going down. Basically, they learn how to walk on trees. Basically, well, obviously, you know why I said that. But they're going down. Basically, it boosts their chakra control a lot. And after basically, I want to say 6 to 5 months of doing it, with their chakra control being coming really good, they start the water walking, which was hard at first, but they got it down after like a month or so, getting it perfected. They got it down like a couple of days, but they perfected it after a month. Now they learn about the chakra natures, basically, and then they get certain jutsus. Sasuke would also obviously have fire style and a weak lightning affinity. No, I'm just gonna have a fire style. Yeah, fire and fire style right now, and a weak lightning style later on. Cause like in canon, Naruto have wind style like in canon. I don't really know if I'm gonna give him another style. I might. Nah, probably not. I might give him a style that he can manipulate, but it's not gonna be like his original affinity. But like ninjas can actually use affinities outside of their own element. I might do something like that. Hinata's obviously gonna have water. I'm gonna have Shikamaru have earth style. And Choji also gonna have earth. And I'm gonna give let me think about it. I'm gonna give a lightning style affinity. So they'd obviously be taught certain jutsus with Sasuke obviously learning the fireball jutsu. Naruto would be learning I'm just gonna say the great breakthrough because he can do it because he got a lot of chakra. Shikamaru will be learning the is it earth style, right? I want to say mud bullet. I mean mud wall. Great mud wall. Hinata definitely not the water dragon or the She can't learn the water dragon or the water prison. She's gonna learn water bullet. I think that's good for her. Choji, I said he learned the same thing as Shikamaru, and I'm gonna say she get like a shock, just feel like static shock. Basically, just shocks your opponent. It's not that strong. So they'd actually start the academy at age of not 7, 8. Being some of the best in their class, the academy teachers will still try to basically tap with Naruto, make sure he fails, basically giving him wrong information on the test, and working, basically messing Naruto over. Naruto would tell this to Shikaku, and Shikaku would basically have those teachers fired. Every time this happened, he teaches Naruto himself on basically things that they would tend to teach him, and also basically get Naruto a fighting style. Now, the fighting style I'm gonna have Naruto learn is basically a quick, basically fighting style. I don't really know. He's gonna be more strategic in this one, and everyone else gonna get their own fighting style. And I thought I was gonna have the Yuga Fist, gentle fist. Naruto's obviously going to, everyone's gonna basically have their clan fighting style, except Naruto. Yeah, he will. You give him the Uzumaki confined style, I don't really know. You don't really know what the Uber confined style look like, but I'm gonna say it's more like a more like flow, like water. It's dangerous and it flows like water, like a whirlpool. So this one, I'm actually gonna leave this video. Continue next part next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like. It don't really matter to me. I'm actually getting tired a little bit. So thanks for watching. I know I've been posting in a while, so I might get back into posting. See you guys next time.